Hello and welcome to the final episode of On The Break, and we've made it to the business end of the FIFA Club World Cup. The semi-finals, well, action. It was just pure action. It was brilliant to watch. Fantastic entertainment, and now one game remains before we crown the best club football team in the world.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Pedro lines one up. Finds the corner brilliantly. He's in again for Chelsea. Pedro. He's done it again. The FIFA Club World Cup final awaits Chelsea.
Sit back. It's a game to savor from the Sen to the Santiago Bernabeu. Did control foul. Doesn't matter anyway. Dembele, fleet-footed, takes his big chance. Fabian Ruiz in for his second. Gonzalo Ramos seals Paris Saint-Germain's place in the FIFA Club World Cup final.
Right, let's bring in two familiar faces who have been with us through the duration of the tournament, Liez Bouzidi and Niamh Petrucciella. Liez, I'll come to you first. What a tournament.
Pure action. I think we've seen so many good underdog stories, so much good football from teams that maybe we didn't see it coming from. But I think ultimately, everyone can really confirm the two best teams in this tournament are playing in the final. And I think, is there one last twist, or is it going to be the favourites that take it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just been nice to watch football throughout the summer that's got that extra competitive layer as well, because I don't think we would be sat down watching this much, consuming this much club football otherwise.
All the way throughout, it's been end-to-end. I can't remember a game where we haven't seen it be end-to-end. And yes, some of the games have lacked quality in finishing, but you're enjoying it. I love it.
I look at Bayern beat Auckland 10-0 first day, but then again, Auckland drew to Boca Juniors on the last day. So honestly, you're right. Throughout the tournament, there's just been so many twists, so many turns. I think we've learned a lot about maybe certain players and certain squads and managers that maybe we weren't as clued up on before, which is really what this tournament's all about. But yeah, man, what a ride.
And Niamh, with the transfer window very much open, I think Harry Redknapp will call it the shop window. It is the shop window, the ultimate shop window for the summer.
Yeah, especially for the teams that are not in Europe, for the European teams looking, because you get to see them against your intensity or in the different sort of styles. There's been a few standout players that I'd be excited to see.
So Chelsea are the first team to qualify for the FIFA Club World Cup final. Enzo Maresca's side beating Fluminense. With more, here's our reporter, Kweku Afare.
Not many people had this on their bingo card at the start of the tournament, but Chelsea are through to the FIFA Club World Cup final. They took care of business here at the MetLife Stadium in New York, beating Fluminense 2-0, two brilliant goals courtesy of their new signing, João Pedro, against his former side. Chelsea have booked their place in the final back here at the MetLife Stadium.
Kweku Afare from the MetLife. Guys, Chelsea, very, very professional, very diligent in their efforts. All the talk, though, about João Pedro. Niamh, come to you straight away. Has he announced himself as their new main man?
I wouldn't perhaps say it's... I don't think you can make that decision just yet, because I think when Liam Delap first played his first minutes, there was... You saw elements of him being a really good number 9. So the pair of them will be battling it out, but they offer different things, which is really nice. I think João Pedro outside the box cuts in on his right foot. He's just an absolute danger. But then off the ball, I think Liam Delap's movement's really good as well. So I think it'll just be what they want to do in each game.
Liez, I read an article this week. Chelsea spent an exorbitant amount of money on forwards. But this piece was talking about how João Pedro might actually be the right fit for that team. What would you say?
I think the beauty of Chelsea and Enzo Maresca is there seems to be different teams that require different fits. We've seen throughout this tournament Liam Delap play up front. Like Niamh said, he's kind of someone who maybe stretches the back line a little bit more. He's more of a bully center forward, where João Pedro is really delicate with his touches in terms of bringing others into play. He's really, for me, an associative kind of center forward. I wouldn't be surprised if Enzo maybe even tries playing both of them together. I think the one who really might miss out at the moment is Nicholas Jackson, who I think when you talk about an extent of a tournament, no one's stock has kind of fell more from a guy who was the starting center forward going into it, then competing with Delap, then getting sent off, to now seeing João Pedro come in his place, and there's two center forwards he's kind of battling it out with. But I think just to kind of summarize that, Maresca seems to have so many different aces up his sleeve that require so many different setups. And I think some games will require João Pedro, some games will require Delap, some games might even require both of them.
Niamh, Fluminense have won a lot of admirers, haven't they? Very, very brave this veteran team led by a 44-year-old goalkeeper and a 40-year-old Thiago Silva bow out at the semi-final stage. Was the VAR call, was that the turning point of the game?
It was a moment, but Chelsea were in a situation where they could take the game to a different level if they needed to throughout. So, no, I would say.
What would, sort of winning the competition mean for Chelsea and Enzo Maresca? Yes, it has its financial rewards, but to be crowned champions of the world is huge.
I think it's a huge statement. First and foremost, Chelsea are a football club that deserves, and not deserve, but the name of the game for them is winning trophies. Winning a trophy of this status, and it's the first one in this format. It would be massive for them.
The second semi-final saw two European heavyweights go toe-to-toe. Current Champions League holders Paris Saint-Germain steaming through Real Madrid. The score 4-0. With more, George Corrinio Chavez.
Hello everybody, impressive Paris Saint-Germain who now reached to the final of this tournament. We talked with the players after the game. It's really impressive to listen to them talking about how they feel together, how they feel playing together. We are a family, said all the players when we talked with them. Achraf Hakimi told us that, yeah, we feel very, very confident in this moment. Playing like this since the Champions League, we are feeling like this team seems like invincible now. Luis Enrique has had a smile after this game, and now this journey continue against Chelsea for the final. This was the goal of PSG before the tournament, be world champions after winning the Champions League. So we'll see for Paris Saint-Germain.
Neve, on DAZN's coverage of that game, Andros Townsend coming out and saying that Luis Enrique has created a monster. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because everyone can do everything, and that's what's so scary. You've got the forward line, they can work as hard as the defenders, but the defenders can play football as well as the forward line. Do you know the player who I've been massively impressed with this tournament? I know he's been good for a while, but this tournament especially has been Fabian Ruiz. Because with Dembele not playing, Fabian Ruiz sort of pressing in that striker role, and it meant he was in that area maybe a little bit more than usual, but he just looked so comfortable. And even with Dembele coming back, he's still getting in those positions and scoring goals. So you don't really know who to be scared of. So you just be scared of them all.
Yeah, I think that's a great quote, by the way. The forward line defends as hard as the defender. Yeah, that's an amazing quote. But I think it makes all the difference when you have Ousmane Dembele, who is at the moment the best pressing forward in Europe. And they're a good team without him. We've seen throughout this tournament. But Ousmane Dembele, the Ballon d'Or worthy contender, and I think you look at even his starting position when he's about to. It looks like Usain Bolt, like he's about to go take off. You look at those goals that PSG scored. Yes, they're defensive errors. Obviously, it's sloppy on the ball, but they're initiated by a player even being ready to press on that. And I think it's damning when you look at what they've replaced. You look at he's playing on the other side. Would those goals have happened if Kylian Mbappe was leading the line for PSG? I think that's the ultimate question.
It felt that mentally they were a step ahead of Real Madrid. And you look at the two goals inside 10 minutes, and they're gut punches straight away. They knocked the wind out of Madrid. And you look at the players after that, the Madrid players, they could tell, they could feel the heat. It felt like there was a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, and you could see Xabi Alonso on the side as well, just telling them to calm down, because I do think it got into their head. I think because it's so hot out there as well. I think if every misplaced pass or everything that maybe goes wrong or you lose the ball, if you're getting frustrated and like in that heat, you're letting it consume you. Whereas with PSG, it was not like that. It was so assured, and they just knew what they needed to do at all times.
Liaz, what have we learned from Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid in this tournament?
We've learned that there's a lot that has improved. I think when he kind of made that switch to 3 at the back, I think Real Madrid played the best football tactically I've seen for quite a long time. They looked really comfortable, and I think they looked like a team. They didn't have all of their best players on the pitch, but they at least looked comfortable in their roles. I think the last game, this previous one, showed that without Huijsen and Trent Alexander-Arnold, it is still the same team as last year. And I still think they probably need another center back, especially if they're going to go forward with that 3 at the back. But I think ultimately we just seen that it's a good team with amazing players, some of the best in the world, but it's a work in progress. And in PSG, you're seeing 2 years, the accumulation of amazing work from Luis Enrique, a side that is so comfortable in every single phase of the game. Madrid maybe have the potential to get there, but it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of coaching, and I think a lot of sacrifice from a few players as well too.
Before we look ahead to Sunday's final, I want to take a moment and just reflect on what's been a really, really enjoyable tournament. I want to know your standout moments.
I think the sides outside of Europe have really been the ones that have impressed me the most. And it's not just about the fact that they play decent football. They're literally taking some of the biggest names in the game and giving them a game. You look at Flamengo against Chelsea. I thought that performance from Felipe Luis was one of the most impressive tactical jobs we've seen at this tournament. PSG, a team that we're saying look invincible right now, got beat by Botafogo. Al Hilal drawing to Real Madrid, beating Man City. These are games and results that we would only see at the Club World Cup, and I think it kind of encapsulates what makes this tournament special. Those guys have really been a breath of fresh air.
And suddenly we've got lots of players to look out for next season. Richard Rios was a highlight one for me in midfield. And then for Juventus in Europe, a team that we've had concerns about throughout the season. Suddenly you see Kolo Muani, Yildiz, who looks sensational, and Cambiasso forming a great little trio to attack up the pitch. So I'm suddenly excited about that.
I haven't been out there. I really enjoyed the atmospheres. I think you saw the samba sort of like effect. I mean, I was out in Times Square with the Palmeiras fans on the eve of their tournament debut. I was out with Esperance de Tunis fans walking down Broadway in Nashville. Unbelievable. But I mean, genuinely, the fans have made it. Everyone's played their part. And it's been really just enjoyable to watch. It began with 32 of the best club teams from across the world, champions from every corner of the globe. And now we are left with two as Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain go head-to-head to crown the FIFA Club World Cup champion. Two brilliant sides, two powerhouses of their respective nations, two very different routes to the final. This is going to be fascinating. A tactical battle to savour.
Yeah, no, it's super fascinating. I think Enzo Maresca, maybe if you were making a team of the best players of this entire tournament, you wouldn't have too many of the Chelsea players because I think they've been more of a unit rather than individuals. But I think Maresca would probably be my manager of the entire tournament because of how many different tweaks he's made throughout the way. Whereas PSG are, you call them a monster, I call them a machine. Seriously, everybody from start to finish just knows their role to perfection. I think PSG are the best team in the world right now. I think they've shown it. But I think Chelsea will actually give a much better game than, for example, Real Madrid did. I think tactically they're just a bit more compact. And I think Maresca will figure out a game plan to at least nullify PSG a little more. But at the end of the day, I think this PSG team just looks unbeatable at the moment. Unless you're Botafogo, apparently. But I see PSG winning this whole thing.
Neve, give me the key 1v1s. Where's this game going to be won and lost?
Oh, well, I think it's going to be fascinating because Chelsea have spent a lot of the tournament in controlling games and they pushed high up the pitch. They don't want to lose the ball in their own half. But then you look at PSG and they know how to assert dominance and have the control in the game, 68% possession against Real Madrid. I think Chelsea, if they own it and they really play what they're good at and don't alter their game plan to PSG, I think they can have more of the ball than Real Madrid had against PSG.
Easily, yeah.
And I also think their attackers will move a little bit more as well against PSG. So I think that just to give them a little bit more of a test and not be afraid of them. And to be honest, I think Chelsea have got quite a lot of players who are very confident in themselves in their roles.
Yeah.
For example, obviously someone like Palmer's an obvious one, but then someone like Caicedo as well in midfield. I think he'll be a lot more assertive and front foot and disruptive than perhaps Real Madrid's midfield were.
We won't see what we saw against Real Madrid again, will we? Where a team is absolutely swarmed and beaten inside the first 10 minutes.
I mean, I don't think we thought that was going to happen in the Real Madrid game, but that's the brilliance of this PSG team. But I would tend to agree. I would expect Chelsea to just be a bit more tactically like compact, to be honest with you. Real Madrid were at 6s and 7s nearly the entire game. 10 minutes, it was 2-0. But I think with this PSG team, I can definitely agree with you. Chelsea have to be confident in themselves and the way they can win. But the thing with PSG is they can just beat you in so many different ways.
The thing I've been most impressed with Chelsea this tournament is that players can come into the team because they can be comfortable. They've always got options. There's an availability. With Santos coming into the team, he always had somebody or a number of players to pass to, which is something I think Real Madrid maybe lacked and why they lost the ball a number of times against PSG. So I'll be fascinated to see if Chelsea can replicate what's made them brilliant.
Is it going to be a bit more of a headache, though, for Enzo Maresca? All those options, different tactical styles. With Luis Enrique, you said he's a machine, and his side is a machine. It feels as though the PSG side picks itself.
Yeah, PSG's team does pick itself, especially now that Dembele is back. You know every single game when PSG have a must-win game like this, the starting 11. And with Chelsea, it is different. I actually disagree with you in a slight sense because I do think Maresca at times does pick his side based on what the opposition are going to kind of give them or how we can kind of counteract whatever he thinks they're going to give them. So I think he'll really look at his side and look to counterbalance what PSG are doing. But ultimately, I just think it's almost two contrasting styles. They're obviously two amazing tacticians, but PSG, you see so much movement and players kind of just going in free rolls. Hakimi playing right back, midfield, right wing, center forward at times. Whereas Chelsea, I do think it's a bit more rigid in that players really know their role to a T and they kind of stick to it to the benefit of the system. So it is really, from both sides, so contrasting but such a fascinating battle.
Right, predictions. Who is going to be crowned world champions of the world? FIFA Club World Cup champions on Sunday night.
PSG's fantastic fairy tale season, I think, just gets a little bit better. I think it's going to be very, very close. I really rate Chelsea as a side. And I think going into their league season, they're looking really, really interesting. But I can't look past PSG.
Some of the football that Chelsea have played, where they've been trying to improve that left-hand side on the attack, could be building up really deliciously for a lot of space that could open up on that right side with Hakimi bursting forward up the pitch. If there is a team that can beat PSG right now, I think it's Chelsea.
So you're going Chelsea?
I'm going to do it.
Love that. That's it from us here on The Break. It's been an absolute joy to bring you all the standout moments, the drama, and to chat through it all like we have. Now, all that's left is to sit back, relax, and enjoy the FIFA Club World Cup final. Who will be crowned champions of the world, Chelsea or Paris Saint-Germain? You can watch it all for free on DAZN.